What would you like to see Donald Trump do to all these Democrats who are trying to block some of the things he's doing?
You know, I just want them to be obliterated off the face of the earth if they're treasonous. And I want the pedophiles obliterated. And I want peace in our nation and in the world, just like everybody else wants. You know that song you can hear do you know the song of the Angry Men from Les Mis?
Yeah.
I love it. And that's what it feels like is happening right here, right now. Not that anybody's angry, but that liberation is upon us.
In what way? Liberation from what?
From lies and deceit. You know, it's the truth that will set us free, and we will know the truth soon if we'll just keep hanging on.
Yeah.
The truth will be revealed, and we'll be free.
And what is the truth?
I don't know all the truth.
Yeah.
I have no idea. I'm waiting to see. I'm excited to see.
Oh.
I'm wondering. I'm curious.
What's up, everybody? Major Retired Patriot Ojeda here. And have you ever came across something on social media or seen a clip on the news where someone said or did something that just didn't age well? You know what I mean. The kind of sloppy rhetoric that didn't just sour over time, it fermented.
Who is working with Donald Trump right now behind the scenes?
Mostly God. That's what I think.
Wait.
God and whoever's walking with him.
Donald Trump is like getting orders from God? Like actually talking directly to God?
I think so.
You think Donald Trump is talking to God, and when he enacts something, an executive order or something, it's because God actually told him?
I don't know about that, but I believe he's getting his instructions from God. Yeah, I sure do.
How would you rank it, like as far as like most important things? God number one, and then Trump?
Of course. Of course. He's just I'm not going to. He's just a tool like the rest of us. And
I agree with that.
And they're not just political talking points that have soured. They're the kind of delusional nonsense that leads people to worship a guy like Trump as the chosen one, while calling Kamala Harris a satanic entity sent to drag us into the tribulation. We've got Trump's prayer team praying in tongues at the White House after bombing Iran, speaking in spiritual Morse code while blessing warheads. This isn't faith, it's theater.
We just thank you right now, Lord, from the east, the west, the north, and the south. You will shake America with your power and your glory. We cancel every assignment of the enemy. This nation was birthed to be one nation under God, and we are standing on the soil of the White House.
It's cult cosplay, and it all leads us straight to Trump's $45 million birthday parade, because of course it does. Now you think, after spending $45 million of taxpayer money, you'd get something, a crowd, a moment, a purpose. Instead, we got empty bleachers, squeaky tanks, and gender-neutral porta potties with no lines. Where's the outrage, Nancy Mace? Not exactly the second coming, unless Jesus came back just to take a nap like Trump did halfway through the event. And the good liars, bless them, didn't have to fight through a crowd. There were no MAGA mobs to brave. They just strolled in like it was an abandoned circus, microphone in hand, and asked the faithful, hey, what's going on here?
What is a big news story that most people don't know about?
Well, all of the special ops teams that are taking people down.
Who's been taken down so far?
Lots and lots of international leaders.
Who, like who? Any Americans?
Of course. Of course. Oh, yes.
Any like big people, former presidents or anything like that?
Yes, there are a lot, and I'm not going to name them because, for one thing, I'm terrible at details.
Sounds like it.
And that brings us to the real question. Who the hell actually falls for this? Well, I'm glad you asked, because that leads us perfectly into what might be the most tragically hilarious example of MAGA brain fog ever caught on camera. And yes, it happened to Donald Trump's pathetic failure of a birthday parade. And speaking of what the hell is going on here, let's talk about her, the lady with the red umbrella. Or maybe it's ladybug design. Or maybe she just walked straight out of a dollar store hallucination. Either way, she looks like she's here for war and a bake sale at the same time. This woman starts off like a raving lunatic. She wants the treasonous Democrats obliterated off the face of the earth. She wants all the pedophiles gone, which is rich considering she's standing at a parade for a guy who used to party with Jeffrey Epstein. campaign. And just as you're bracing for more vengeance and brimstone, she pivots. I want peace in our nation. Peace? In the same breath? Obliteration and peace? That's like saying, I just burned your house down. Now let's talk about harmony and healing. Now you might think, maybe she's just confused. Maybe she misspoke. Nope, it gets better. Jason Selvig asked her, what is the truth? And she says, I kid you not, I don't know the truth. I have no idea. I'm waiting to see. I'm excited to see. I'm wondering. I'm curious. So let me get this straight. She's at a taxpayer-funded military cosplay parade, decked out like a peppermint apocalypse mascot, fighting for a truth she doesn't even know? That's not patriotism. That's a Facebook comment thread given human form. And just when you think we've hit peak delusion, she goes full Broadway. She says with a glimmer in her eye, our nation is about to be liberated. Liberated from what? She doesn't know. Liberated by who? That's fuzzy too. But she can feel it. She compares the whole event to Les Miserables. Not that anyone's angry, she says, but liberation is upon us. It's the final boss level of MAGA cosplay, Revolution Theater, complete with spiritual hallucinations and musical references. This isn't just one confused woman. This is what years of right-wing propaganda, algorithm-driven hysteria, and Trump worship have done to people. She's not alone. She's the norm at this parade. She is the MAGA mascot of the movement that doesn't want truth, just a story they can scream about while the rest of us clean up the mess. And the scariest part, these people vote. They run for office. They testify at school board meetings and scream at librarians. They think Jesus is on Truth Social and that America should be governed by prophecy, not policy. They're not in the shadows. They're center stage, wrapped in flags, holding Bibles upside down and waiting for the rapture between campaign stops. They don't want a president. They want a Messiah. And Donald Trump is happy to play the part, as long as the stage is gold-plated and the crowd is buying merch. So the next time you see one of these viral moments, one of these MAGA morons calling for violence, then claiming peace, quoting musicals while praising missile strikes, remember this. It's not just funny, it's dangerous. And whenever one of these MAGA nutjobs tries to tell you that Donald Trump won the election by some overwhelming mandate from the people and delivers it with the faux righteousness, indignation they love to wear like a name tag, point to this damn parade. That's the mandate right there. Millions for a Trump birthday parade that couldn't even fill the bleachers. That's what the people said. Even the soldiers marching weren't in sync. A silent protest from the men and women who had to give up their weekend with their families just to put on a pageant for a wannabe dictator. This is what MAGA is ignoring. That's what their narrative refuses to acknowledge, because deep down, they know it too. This isn't a movement, it's a sideshow, and it only exists to entertain people like this dang MAGA ladybug. When you think about it, MAGA can spot aliens, Bigfoot, and Jesus in burnt toast, but somehow miss a fascist regime forming right in front of their damn eyes. And that, right there, is a litmus test. So the next time they try to gaslight you with their made-up nonsense, their holy anointing of Trump, and their cosplay crusade, remind them of this. Remind them of their pathetic president, his ego parade, and the 45 million taxpayer-funded embarrassment that they called a celebration. Because this doesn't end well. Not for them, not for us, not for anyone. Donald Trump has attacked Iran. They're attacking us back. And this MAGA delusion, this fantasy wrapped in flags and fear, is spiraling towards something none of us are going to be ready for. This isn't leadership. It's a lit fuse, and it is burning fast. And the scariest part, these people vote, they run for office, they think Jesus is on Truth Social, and that America should be governed by prophecy, not policy. They're not in the shadows. They're center stage, wrapped in flags, holding Bibles upside down, and waiting for the rapture between campaign stops. They don't want a president, they want a Messiah, and Donald Trump is happy to play the part, as long as the stage is gold-plated and the crowd is buying merchandise. And if we don't take them seriously soon, we're all going to end up as extras in their Broadway apocalypse fantasy, whether we bought a ticket or not. And that is an absolute fact. Sappers clear the way, airborne all the way.